In this video, we are going to talk about the Fearful Avoidant and Relationships 5 common patterns. I am Pauline and I am so happy you are here because when you are a fearful avoidant or when you have the fearful avoidant attachment style or whether you're dating a fearful avoidant, you might recognize these patterns. There are some patterns that are just very common in this attachment style. The first one is going all in and then chickening out. So this could be in friendships, but also in relationships. When you find somebody you're super interested, you're very attentive, you're just very present in conversations with them, and then you chicken out, and that partner is like, what happened? I thought we had a connection. I thought it was good. Did I do something wrong? What can happen is that you did indeed have a connection, and that freaks the fearful avoidant out. It can also be that they feel like now they have to perform. So making a good first impression, a lot of fearful avoidants are very good at that. They are very good at making a first good impression. But when they know somebody longer, they feel like there is a lot of expectations that they have to meet. And that's what they're very afraid of. They're very afraid to disappoint, to make mistakes, to do things wrong. So when they meet you the first time, they know that you don't need them, that you've lived your life up till then without them, so you'll manage. So they don't feel the pressure really to be something for you. And so they can be their most amazing selves, which is they're engaging, they can be magical, you can be very engaged, very interested, very present. But then you're very afraid that you won't be able to sustain that won't last. And so you chicken out. And a lot of fearful avoidants haven't had a way to really say that. They are very afraid of failure, so they would have a very hard time saying, oh yeah, I really loved our conversation too, and then afterwards I was just so afraid that you would expect too much of me, so I kind of retreated a little bit. I'm sorry. That's not what somebody who hasn't healed the fearful avoidant attachment style will do. They will just kind of retreat and feel very bad about themselves, and yeah, kind of hope that it will either go away or that it will somehow work out. But yeah, they don't usually have the way to communicate that. Then being in love until the chase is over and then the doubts start. So when a fearful avoidant is not completely sure, when you are not completely sure that whether that other person likes you or not, you can be on your best because connection is not there yet. So as long as you're chasing, you are kind of safe for connection. Fearful avoidant attachment style is actually the fear. I call it the fear of connection. So you have fear of abandonment and fear of commitment, which are very well known. But then you also have the fear of connection, which is what the fearful avoidant struggles with the most. So the chase feels safe because in that chase, there is not real lasting connection. But then when the chase is over and you either have a relationship or that connection is there, it could be that for you as a fearful avoidant, then the doubts start. Oh, wait, now this person is available and they actually want to be with me. But wait, do I actually like them? Do I have enough feelings for them? Do I love them enough? Am I in love with them? Is this what being in love means? And so the doubts start and you start completely projecting on your feelings and start obsessing about your feelings. So that is also definitely a common pattern in the fearful avoidant and relationships. Then also falling for emotionally unavailable people when you haven't healed yet. This just feels safest because emotionally unavailable people will make you work for any sort of connection. And when you're afraid of connection, that works out perfectly, doesn't it? Because that would mean that you have to work really hard in order to feel connection. and therefore you control the connection. It doesn't feel like that because you feel like you want that connection so badly and they are not giving it to you. But actually, having connection be available with a healthy partner is way more scary for somebody that hasn't healed the fearful avoidant attachment style yet. So you keep falling for emotionally unavailable people because in a way that just feels safer, and it might also just feel familiar. So that's a very common pattern too. And when you heal the fearful avoidant attachment style, you will notice that you will be attracted to other people and not to emotionally unavailable people anymore. Then the fourth pattern is wanting approval until the moment of commitment and then start searching for faults. So as long as the commitment is not there, as long as somebody hasn't said, okay, I really like you, let's, take this further, you kind of put them on a pedestal where you want approval from them. And then when they are actually into you, you've succeeded, you start looking for faults. And what could happen is actually, if you have so many negative beliefs about yourself, as a lot of fearful avoidants do, that you are a bad person, that you are not worthy, that you are not good enough, it can be very weird when somebody says, hey, I really like you. And you're like, wait, no, that isn't right. So something must be not right with you. And so you start to kind of find fault with them and you start to lose respect for them. Weirdly enough, fearful avoidants who haven't healed at all yet tend to respect people who are judgmental and critical towards them. That's the ones they put on a pedestal. And so when somebody is willing to commit to you and is loving you, you're like, your fear brain is like, there's something wrong. I have to find something that corresponds with this feeling of being something wrong. So you find fault with them, also to make them less desirable, so that when they do reject you or abandon you, it won't hurt as much. So you kind of build up this little bank of faults so that when they abandon you or they hurt you or they reject you, you're like, oh, I didn't like them anyway because they have this and this and this and this and this. Does that sound familiar? And then the fifth common pattern is the highs and lows and the push and pull. I talk about this a lot. So in a lot of fearful avoidant relationships, when you haven't healed yet, you will notice highs and lows and highs and lows and highs and lows. And that can almost be addictive for a while. And that can also play out in other areas of your life. So you can have that with romantic relationships, but also with friendships, or also with money, or also with your health. Things seem to go really well. You're working really hard for something. And then before you know it, everything is gone again and you have to start all over again. So you kind of destroy and then build and destroy and build. And that's because it's uncomfortable for you to have it be good in a steady, stable way. And then push and pull is a different kind of high and low. It's hard for you to sustain connection, and so it's easier for you to push your partner away and then pull them towards you, and push your partner away and pull them towards you. Just kind of manage that connection and not let it get too close. So these are 5 common patterns that you see a lot in the fearful avoidant. I am curious whether you recognize these patterns. Maybe you have even more patterns that you recognize. Please let them know in the comments below. And just know that these are not things that you will always have or just are in your character. That's why I kept saying the unhealed fearful avoidant, or when you haven't healed the fearful avoidant attachment style. Because when you have healed and you are healed, you will notice that you are able to go all in and sustain that and actually be that amazing and engaged and magical person that you are. And you have no problem being that because it just comes naturally. You're not afraid of other people's expectations of you because that's not what you choose to live by. It's living by your own values. And your relationships, your friendships will just deepen naturally without you having to perform or really having to work so hard for it. it will allow you to actually be in love without finding fault or having doubts, and just enjoy that love and sustain that, and fall for people who are actually able to give you love and love you unconditionally instead of emotionally unavailable people. And then just enjoying life and relationships and love. So that's what healing the fearful avoidant attachment style will do for you if you've noticed these patterns. It's just everything feels so much lighter. It doesn't feel like you have to perform, or it doesn't feel like such a struggle anymore, and all those wonderful things that you have just kind of come out naturally. It is possible. If you are interested in that, please check the link in the description below to my online program, Healed and Happy, where we go to the roots of the fearful avoidant attachment style and we heal this. We heal all of this. I am so happy you are here as always, and I will see you in the next one. Healed and Happy is a tailor-made online program where me and my team personally guide you through healing the roots of the fearful avoidant attachment style.